Okay, and welcome back. Last time we left off in the depths after having done the exploration, save for killing the giant rat and dealing with Kirk, which is exactly what I'm going to go do right now. I'm now using the heavy crossbow instead of the light, and it's at +7, I believe. Yeah. As you can see, there's quite a bit of attack power difference. Hopefully it'll make things a little bit easier in terms of certain enemies. Yeah. So, for that shot. That running attack is actually the one those guys have where you want to look out for it. Damage on these. Just killing it to test how many bolts it takes. But that running attack with the torchbearers will hit you over and over, and it can stack up quite a bit of damage. So 9-10 bolts. It's an improvement, but it's still not exactly effective. While I was off screen, all I did was run over to Andre and upgrade my crossbow and give him that ember. I shouldn't have given them the ember off screen. Sorry about that. Kind of cut the dialogue out. That should have been there. Yes. Once I can get some more large Titanite shards down in Blighttown, I'll improve the crossbow some more. I just did not have any more to throw on it. I have, I think, one left. Not sure how that hit me. Thankfully, now I can one-shot these goddamn dogs again. I hate these things. Yeah. That's about all I did. Well, that and eat dinner, but that. Okay. The easiest way to deal with the giant rat without risking getting hit is to just hop down there, come over to the side with a ranged weapon or a spell, walk on, and yeah. You can also do a plunging attack with a melee weapon to do quite a lot of damage. And the only reason I two-handed the crossbow right there is just to raise the firing angle a little bit. Just to be sure I hit it over that little wall. Memory serves, the giant rat always drops a humanity. Is it a twin humanity? Down there. And there's the replacement shield that I've been waiting to get. It's still not the greatest, except for that poison effect, which is unique to the spider shield. Unfortunately, it's not lighter. Just hop down. Okay, so it's a single humanity. And there's also this right over here. And the way to get down to the boss, real quick, if you just want to get into the depths, then get out, is to hop down into this room and just slide down right over here. And boom, you're there. Yeah, I'm gonna kill it. I was debating whether to kill it or leave it alone. I think this thing also staggers a little better than the previous crossbow. I'll have to test it out on a few enemies, see if it does. But it doesn't seem any slower. Still no shards. Since we gotta deal with Kirk, still, just gonna use a homeward bone, go back, and reverse my hollowing. Do my repairs and such. Yeah. That's why I'd been saving those 9 small Titanite shards, is just so I could plus this up to 5 immediately, wouldn't have to waste any extra souls or anything. It grows a little bit quicker than the light crossbow, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. It's unfortunate that I only have one large shard left. Yeah, I don't feel like wasting it. Okay. Guess we're swirling. 90% says I'm going to get invaded while I'm in here. Usually it happens almost immediately, so I might have decided to do this recording at a time where there isn't a bunch of people. Let's see. No sunbros, so... let's see if I can summon this guy. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I get to fight Kirk alone. It's no big deal. Kirk's not very dangerous. Try 2 more times for a summon, and then if it doesn't work, I'll just move on. That way I don't end up standing around for a while. And after I do this, I might hang out down in the depths for a while, getting summoned to help people out, see if I can get some souls out of it, because the Gaping Dragon does give you quite a few souls. There's a couple NPC summons down there for the Gaping Dragon, but generally you do not want to summon them. The AI does not fight well against it. It will walk straight into its attacks, get eaten really quickly, and just all they really do is serve to increase its health. What can you do? Just gonna wait for all the summoning failed messages to see what's going on. If I am getting invaded, I'll deal with them in here, whether I win or lose, and move on from there. Generally, I prefer to be invaded when I'm in here, simply due to the fact that it doesn't take long to recover your crap if you die, which I potentially will. Come on. Did I fail or did I succeed, game? No invasion. And the easy way to keep an eye on that is to equip your white sign soapstone. If it turns gray when you're out and about, you're being invaded. Time to go find Kirk. Let's see where he pops up. Route through the rat room for this, just because it's quicker to get to the lower section and doesn't involve falling and getting injured. And keep my white soapstone out in case we get invaded. So I can run back towards that room. Oops. Forgot about him. The shield does not prevent against bleeding, unfortunately, but that would probably make it just too overpowered. I'm pretty sure the only reason it protects against poison is for blighttown. I'm not gonna bother with that dog. Won't drop anything other than a few souls. Obviously grays out when you're in the air, but that's just because you can't actually use it until you hit the ground. Track down Kirk pretty easily from here. Let's see. This is the door to that rat room that I can go through. I just will open it. Completely forgot to when we were down here last time. Freaking slime. great place to fight him. Pretty much right on top. Didn't want to have to fight you. Well, it's not really fighting, it's more like just killing, but... I don't remember if NPC invasions will gray out your soapstone, but when we get to Kirk, I guess we'll find out. Let's see. Frickin' slime. No. And that's the problem with the lock-on when you've got multiple enemies around. It likes to lock on to whatever the hell it chooses. Boxes with rats in them, they will still break, rats will still come out. Even after you've killed them the first time. There he is. I'm just gonna find where he actually popped up. He's right over here somewhere. It's me? Damn it, Kirk, where are you? Causes bleed. Other than that, he's not very strong. It gets even worse for him in his other locations. Yeah, that's Kirk. Only reason I killed him? He drops a lot of souls. Shield and a sword. Not bad. Yeah. Guess it's time to go fight the Gaping Dragon then. Is your slime still alive? Yeah. Come here, you little bugger. I can kill you and get my health back. Again, no drop. Definitely very stingy. Let's see. Nope, not gonna invade again. At the exit or the boss room? Boss room, okay. Hopefully we'll be out of this mandatory RPG sewer level soon. Gaping Dragon is a really easy boss, even if you're alone. Where is it? Barbed straight sword, it's identical to a long sword, basically. I think it has a little shorter reach, actually, and a little worse scaling, now that I look at it. And less durability, however, it causes bleed in exchange. And by identical to it, I meant the moveset is exactly the same. The shield... I don't think you can actually... Yeah, you can't parry with that one. Instead, you do a unique bash with it that can cause bleed. It's the only shield in the game that can inflict it, but as a shield, it's not so good. Anyways. You thought it was something small that was sticking up, didn't you? Big ugly himself. Also one of the most easily avoided bosses. So that attack is the one you do not want to get caught in. Even when he's just slamming his head down, he will one-shot you. It's the only time I've ever been hit by it. I've died instantly. But it's pretty simple to avoid. You can cut his tail off to get a axe, but it's pointless for this run to grab. Though it does render his tail not a threat, because he can attack with it, which hurts quite badly. All of his attacks do quite a bit of damage. Basically, just try and bait him into slamming his head into the ground without getting caught in it, and he's pretty easy to avoid. Also, do not want to let him land on you. That is another of his very, very painful attacks. Tail whip isn't as bad as I thought it was. It hurts, but nothing Nestus can't heal. He will turn towards you when he's doing that run, crawl, or whatever you want to call it. But he doesn't turn very rapidly. He has one other attack that he hasn't decided to use yet that can actually really be used when you're this distance from him. Kind of glad he hasn't. Basically, he pukes all over the floor, and if you get caught in it, you get poisoned, I think. Never let myself get caught in it. Say the crossbow is excellent for killing slow bosses. And the item in the room that you keep seeing, it's the warrior starter set, if memory serves. That player is okay. His bad attacks are really well telegraphed, and you can avoid them quite easily as long as you keep them in your view. This is not a place I want to be. So grab it. Yep, warrior starter set. I just did not want to be in that corner due to the small amount of room I'd have to get away from him when he does this. One or two more, you should go down. In terms of his head slams. Yeah, one more. He's a real simple boss. Kind of hard to die to be honest. As long as you pay attention. Don't hit a weak spot, which is oddly that little thing that looked kind of like an alligator's head that popped up at the beginning of his cutscene. That's actually his weak point. You can attack it when he slams his face down to try and eat you, but it's pretty risky if you don't get out of there quick. Though you will deal bonus damage when you're hitting him there. Anyways, yeah. Pretty much the easiest boss in the game, in my opinion. And that's the end of that. Right, I was going to do Faith next. Okay. Let's do that. And let's let's get the hell out of here. No longer need to be in the sewer. Alright. If I didn't explain what an overkill is, when you kill an enemy with enough damage, I don't remember how much more than their max HP you have to do, you get 20% extra souls from them. And when you do it, the soul sound when you're gaining it is a little bit louder. Let's see, I guess next we'll deal with the Moonlight Butterfly, and then off to the Undead Asylum. I was going to do it in the opposite order originally, but I just decided I'd rather be as strong as possible before we go to the Undead Asylum. Just because of the sheer number of Black Knights there are there. We might even pick up Iron Flesh before we go there to try and make it a little easier to survive their attacks. They're all Sword and Shield Knights, but they do not spawn in the best locations. They're generally in really small, enclosed areas, and then there's also the Stray Demon, which I will not be messing with yet. Basically, it's the Asylum Demon, only much stronger, and it can cause weird magical explosions that will oftentimes happen behind you, and that makes it impossible to guard from them. You'll take the full damage. But mainly, the only magic I'm going to try and use is either healing through the Princess Guard Covenant, just because I like being able to heal my summons / host when I've been summoned, and buffs from Pyromancy. I can't directly buff crossbows themselves, so at least you don't have to worry about me throwing on Dark Moon Blade or something like that to make it ridiculously powerful. Excuse me. That guy right there, if you really want to kill him over and over after resting at the bonfire, will drop a short bow, and he's the easiest source to get one for free. Or at least this early on. I'm just going to kept missing. Did not feel. Why did you target the one behind me leading the stairs? You still get. As I was saying, I just kept missing and didn't want to keep wasting hits. These weak ass enemies. Yep. Stormtrooper crossbow aim right now. Let's see. I think Rhea's here now. Yep. This is Rhea, another of the members of the Way of the White. Higher up than Petrus. Anyways.
You are undead as well. Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us. Did I not explain the urgency of our tasks? Or are you so uncouth as to lack such judgment? By the looks of you, I should think not.
And her 2 bodyguards.
Hmm? What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good.
They don't exactly do a good job. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh, hello. My guests have finally arrived. I will be departing with them shortly. So, I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure. Oh, hello. Miracles, I presume? Yes, I know.
And yeah. Since we now have 12 faith, guess I'll buy heal.
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
And now that I think about it, he has one other thing I need to get. I think it's 5,000.
Oh, hello, miracle.
It's the Thurland Talisman. Currently, with a regular talisman, I only have a magic adjust to 115 because my faith is relatively low. However, the Thurland Talisman, you do not get faith scaling with it, but it has a much higher base adjust. So it's better for me to carry that. Eventually, I'll come and pick up Homeward. It's just, I have nowhere near the faith to get it.
The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
And make use of it at the moment. And right over here is the Pyromancy Trainer. Gotta use some more souls so I can buy Iron Flesh. I usually keep at least a few consumable souls in case I feel like buying something.
Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my pyromancy at Great Swamp, so I can use your manage with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
The reason he says that is the pyromancers are actually shunned in the magic using community. I don't remember the exact reason off the top of my head, unfortunately. If you answer yes, he won't sell you anything. Just leave the area, come back, and you can answer it again. Answer no.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Here, first take this.
And it gives you a free pyromancy flame, unless you start as a pyromancer.
A flame from the Great Swamp. Now you're a fully fledged pyromancer. Why, let's get started right now.
Okay. And it's Pyromancer Trainer. Iron Flesh, it got nerfed pretty viciously, but it's still somewhat useful. It increases your defense and your poise, but it slows you way the hell down. I figured I'd grab it for the Black Knights so they can't stagger me out of my attacks, and hopefully they won't do such an absurd amount of damage. He's also the way you upgrade your Pyromancy Flame early game.
Goodbye then. Come back if you find anything.
He'll only upgrade it to plus 15, and then you have to go to his teacher down in Blighttown. And I don't remember what makes sure everything available off the top of my head, unfortunately. Anyways. Go off to the forest and visit the butterfly. Oop, forgot to tune my spells. Probably a good idea. So I just spent freaking 6,000 souls on him. Quite a bit more than that, but... Each spell has a number of uses that you can use each time you visit a bonfire. And the stronger the spell, usually the lower the number of casts. There are a couple that break this, though. Such as Crystal Dragon Breath, which is a sorcery spell. You get 20 uses of it, and it hits almost as hard as Soul Spear, which is one of the higher damage spells. And then there's Dark Bead. Don't get close to anyone using dark bead. If they are hostile, you'll be one-shotted at point-blank range, generally, regardless of your health and defense. It's a cheap tactic introduced by the DLC, or Prepare to Die Edition's content, as a lot of people know it. Anyways, just ignoring everything, because I don't feel like wasting the bolts. Probably going to use some of the souls from the butterfly to get standard bolts or restock my wood. Anyways, off we go. Moonlight butterfly, you don't actually need physical defense, you need magic. That's not really worth it to change. Again, not worth it. Yeah. Change out the gloves. A shield that's better against magic. A cracked round shield. Anything else? No, that's it. Cracked round shield has horrible stability, so it ain't really worth it. Guess I'll just stick to this shield. Okay. If you're really having trouble with the Moonlight Butterfly, just get the Warrior's round shield from the Undead Male Merchant. Oh, forgot he was there. And it'll get you some good magic resistance. Or block, I should say. Sorcerer's starter set, when upgraded, also has some pretty good magic defense, but it does not have any poise, so it will leave you wanting in that department. Yeah. I don't actually know how long I've been recording it. Need to get a way to track the time easier. How the hell did that miss? I also like to get some blooming purple moss before I go to Blighttown, but I'll do that off screen because it takes quite a while sometimes. Depends on how generous these trees are willing to be. It's either that or I spend quite a few souls back at the Undead Female Merchant, and I'm not really willing to deal with that. I got out of the time of day when there aren't many invaders going right now. Which is nice, because I really do not feel like dealing with them. You can skip most of the enemies in this section by just running around this side over here. To get over here, but you will have to fight a single stone knight if you take too long, and that little bastard's kind of in a bad spot. Damn it. I'm off to one side. Fortunately, they're quite small, so... There we go. They can poison you, and... That was strange. That was the frame loss. Anyways, they can poison you, and they're kind of hard to notice at times. Don't know what's going on with the sudden FPS issues. I guess after this recording, I'll stop for tonight and... Yeah. This is not the place to fight these. And right over here, is Witch Beatrice. It's important that you summon her during this fight, as it'll unlock an armor set, a catalyst, and a couple other things if memory serves. You can also summon her after this for the Four Kings fight, but it's utterly pointless. She will literally just not join the fight. Looks like I'm going to have to cut it off after the Moonlight Butterfly until I can figure out what's causing these FPS issues. It might just be the area, or something weird's going on. That's the Moonlight Butterfly, as the name suggests. It's basically just a giant moth. It's not even a freaking butterfly. Beatrice will do most of the fight for you if you let her. All of its attacks are pretty easy to avoid by rolling, generally. That's the only one you really do not want to be hit by without a good magic block shield. And that one I rolled too soon. Because it will hit you over and over and do quite a lot of damage. As you can see, Beatrice hits pretty freaking hard on this thing. When it starts doing that, get away from it. It's going to cause an explosion. So for killing it, you get the soul of the Moonlight Butterfly, humanity, 10,000 souls, and the access to this little spot. Which is actually somewhat useful to come to before you go to the catacombs, if you're not specializing in blunt weapons. Okay, it's extremely useful to go to before you go to the catacombs, but that's beside the point. At least if memory serves, this is where it's from. Watchtower. Ah, that's the key to Havel. Completely forgot that you get it here. And Divine Ember, which will let you make divine weapons. Very important for the catacombs area because it makes a skeleton stay dead if you kill it with that, instead of being revived by the necromancer endlessly until you kill him. And a homeward bone. I'm just going to use the soul of the Moonlight Butterfly. I have no intention of making either the shield or the spear. They're both completely useless to me. Well, that didn't help. I forgot how little you get for that. So homeward bone back, level up, and cut this video off due to the weird frame loss issues that I was getting. Would have liked to have included the Undead Asylum. I'm probably just going to do a second recording and attach the two videos together. Let's see. I've got the 12 faith I need. Would that give me another attunement? Yes, it would, but I don't really need it. Not for a while, at least. So, back to raising endurance. The reason to do that is if I can get to 74 equip burden without the Havel's Ring equipped before I go down to fight, or deal with Blighttown, I can skip. Well, not really skip, I should say I can speed up the process of going through there quite a bit. Not nearly enough. Well, anyways. With that, I guess I'll cut it off here for the moment.